Good morning, everyone. The very name of this week's Torah portion is a crash course in parenting. This week's Torah portion begins with the laws of childbirth. And it says, Isha ki tazria, when a woman conceives and gives birth. The word tazria is translated as conceives. But the literal translation of the word tazria is from the word zera, seed. And therefore what it really means is Isha ki tazria, when a woman is seeded. Why does the Torah compare pregnancy, conception, to be planted like a seed? So Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch says that just like when you plant a seed, you don't really create the tree. You just put the seed in the ground. And then there's a biochemical reaction that brings about a beautiful tree with delicious fruit. So too, man and woman conceive a child. But the real creation of the child is like the creation of the seed. It's beyond our control. It is formed entirely, practically, by God. We just initiate the process. But I believe that there's 5 comparisons to a tree, to childbirth, and to being a parent. The first thing is you have to choose good seeds. If you want a beautiful tree, a quality tree, you have to choose good seeds. If the seeds are damaged or in some way not quality, then the tree will reflect the seeds. So too, raising children doesn't begin with conception. It begins by making sure you are the type of parent to produce the right quality seeds. That you choose a spouse not just who will make you happy in life and fulfill your dreams, but when you look at your spouse, when you choose a mate, you have to say, what kind of a husband and what kind of a father will this person be? I'm not just choosing a wife, but I'm choosing the future mother of my children. So you have to choose the good seeds. The next step is that you have to plant the seeds in the right soil. If you don't plant seeds in the proper soil, they will not grow properly. So too, we have to make sure that our children grow up and are raised in a proper environment. Not just the proper home, but community, school, friends who have a tremendous amount of influence, like the soil, the environment of the child. The third thing every child needs, like a seed, needs sunlight, warmth, love, radiance. As the Talmud says, more than the child gains from the white milk of this mother's breast, the child gains from the white teeth of the loving smile as the child is breastfeeding and looks up at its mother and sees its warm smile. That sunlight, that love allows the child to grow beautifully and healthily into a wonderful human being filled with love. The fourth thing, of course, is that you have to water the plant as it grows. And that's parenting. As parents, we have to continue nurturing our children with knowledge, with education, with Torah, with inspiration, with meaning, with purpose in their lives, telling them not just how to succeed in life, but why they were put here to achieve what goals, what purpose, what mission in this world. That is the watering of the seeds. And then ultimately, we need to turn to the heavens like the farmer and say, God, send down your rain so everything can grow beautifully. It's not enough that we water it, but we have to ask God for His blessings. And finally, sometimes you see a young tree is growing in the wrong direction. It's growing crookedly. So what do? You take sticks and you fasten it to the tree to straighten it out, to allow it to go in the right direction, to grow beautifully. Just like you take your child to an orthopedic to be able to fix them if their bones aren't growing correctly or if their teeth aren't growing correctly, to straighten it out. Sometimes the parents, like the 2 sticks on the side of the tree, the father and the mother have to stand on the 2 sides of the child and support them and encourage them to make sure that if they're leaning in the wrong direction, you bring them back and help them grow properly, because sometimes, even naturally, children have tendencies that lead them in the wrong direction. Yesterday we witnessed something that never happened before in the history of the United States of America. For the first time ever, 2 parents, the Crumbley parents, James and Jennifer, were sentenced to 10 years each in prison for poor parenting. Their child committed a crime, a mass shooting in Michigan, killing 4 innocent young classmates, and the parents were sentenced along with the child to prison. Why? Because they didn't do their job as parents. They didn't fulfill their responsibility. It's not enough to give birth to a child. It's your responsibility that if you see the child's going in the wrong direction, like those 2 sticks, you straighten out your child You put them on the right path. And even then, we never know. Sometimes it's beyond the parents' control, and then they're not responsible because God has to send the rain. But if they didn't do their part, then they're held accountable. There's a story about this widow, and she had a son who was very troubled, who went to yeshiva, and he was always causing problems. And the school tried time and again to correct it. But finally, they called in the mother and they said, we have to expel your son. He's causing a lot of trouble. He's not behaving. He's too problematic for the school. And the mother was shocked. She says, I didn't know he was failing in school and having so much difficulties. Why didn't you inform me about this? And they said, we know you have a lot of challenges. You're a widow. You're raising children on your own. We didn't want to cause you aggravation. We tried to do the best we can, figuring we don't have to involve you, but we've come to the conclusion we can't keep your son anymore. And the mother said, what do you mean you didn't call me because you didn't think I can do anything? I could have prayed for my child. You denied me the opportunity to pray, to ask Hashem for his help. And the rabbi of the school said, you're absolutely right. We will take your son back in. You pray for him and we'll do the best. And sure enough, the child changed course and grew up to be a wonderful young man. As much as we do for our children, we can do everything right, but ultimately we have to turn to Hashem and thank him for the blessings of our children, knowing that it's not entirely in our control. We can do everything right, but without Hashem's blessings, our children wouldn't be the wonderful human beings they are. And at the same time, when our children have troubles, we have to realize that in addition to everything we do as parents, we have to ask God for his help. And every day we have to pray and ask Hashem to send the rain so our children can continue to flourish and prosper in life. Have a wonderful day.